Hi, I'm doing this from my sick bed actually. Well, I've got out of my sick bed and I've come to my work desk. I'm off work due to a chest infection, but today my think tank bag has arrived. I never thought I would get a think tank. They're so expensive, it's untrue. Um, but I am denied. I could have got the Amazon Basics case, which was a third of the price. I shopped around and managed to get it for under, well, I got it for £2.99 pounds, British pounds, and that was quite a bit less. Other places think the recommended price is a hell of a lot more than that. Um, I do a lot of travelling and I do a lot of photography whilst I'm away, and I just really want to look after my bags. But I obviously don't want a bag that when I turn up at the airport, I'm refused to put it on the aeroplane. This is really millimetres smaller than most of the restricted luggage. The weight is a problem. I've just weighed it. Here's the bag here, and I'll grab this other bag. Probably the focus. How's the focus doing? That's back on. Good. Right, so this is the think tank, and my first impression, apart from how well it is built and looks, it looks fantastic, was its weight. Very, very heavy bag. But unfortunately, that is the price you are paying for the protection and for the wheels and the handle, but primarily the protection. So I weighed it, and it was, I wrote it down, so you get a good look at my ball patch there, so you can all laugh at that. 5.8 kilograms, okay, so that's what that weighs. So I'm in my clothes, I'm in my pyjama bottoms as well, because I'm poorly. And I'm in a t-shirt I've worn for 4 days, soaked in Vic Vapor Rub. So it really isn't a good look, but I can't be bothered to do anything about that right now because I'm too poorly, and I'm not that worried about how I look, more about what I'm saying. So this is the penny case that I use when I'm out and about. I have taken this abroad. It is small enough to go as cabin luggage. It's the 1510 version, so the 1510. I haven't got the measurements here, but the weight I do have, this is 6.5 kilograms. So there'll be a lot of budget flights, particularly from the UK. They only allow you 5 kilograms in weight. So straight away, you're screwed. You can't even take an empty bag with you. The flight I've got to Iceland in a month's time, it doesn't actually mention weight of the carry-on. I've got a 23 kilogram weight limit. The other key with that, if you're travelling, this is all about travelling actually, the other key with travelling is you can put your camera lenses in your pockets. If you wear a coat with big pockets, just put them in there. That takes your weight way down. As soon as you're through the section where they worry about that kind of jazz, you put it back in your bag. So this is going to be literally, I've unzipped it for a nanosecond to peer in, but I wanted you to see it literally as I'm opening it. And so you can get my first impressions. I've watched lots of reviews, looked at the Manfrottos, I've looked at the Low Pros, I've looked at the Amazon Basics, I've looked at so many different types of bag. Some very good reviews, some rather partisan reviews I've seen. So we're just going to look at, this is just an unboxing. I might throw in some little bits about, so this is, the main reason I've bought this is because if you're getting up to weights, if you've got lots of equipment, you get up to weights where you're struggling to pick up the bag, therefore you want wheels and a handle, then you really probably shouldn't be putting it on your back. I am also, apart from a professional photographer, and a professional drone pilot, I'm also, my third career, my longest career is an osteopath. That's the thing, I'm away from work, so I don't give my bugs to my patients. It would be unprofessional. So the kind of weights we're talking about, this probably full will be 15 kilograms, something like that. You don't really want that on your back for any length of time. I have a lot of mid-thoracic back problems, osteophyte formation. 6 vertebrae, I only have one hand, so you have to do that plus that. 6 vertebrae fusing together, probably because of the diving I've done over the years and the heavy weights on my back with the tanks and shore diving. Backpacks that I've used, all sorts of things, rugby. And my job, leaning over people all day long. 30 years of doing that. I know, I'm not, I don't look old enough, do I? Okay, so actually I'm perking up a bit now and getting into the swing of this. Let's open this up. I might just, what should we do to do this? I'll just change the camera angle. Look, and I couldn't even with the microphone. I can't be. I've only got my PJ bottoms on. If I clip this onto them, it'll probably pull them down, and nobody would want to see that. So I'm going to just set this up on my desk and set the camera up to look over my shoulder, and we can have a look at the inside. Okay. Okay. This is the Think Tank Security version 3. I think it is meant to be award-winning. So the adverts say. It arrives with all these tags. I'm going to take these tags off now. So this will be no return type scenario, unfortunately, but that is life. It's a very nice bag. It's just the weight I'm worried about, but that is life. But so many people rate this highly, I'm going to have to take their advice. So get a nice leaflet with lots of gumph in it and tips on other products they do, etc. We'll have a look at that. I do love looking at leaflets. This says fits a 17-inch laptop. You have an elasticated area at the front here. You can stuff your coat into, or some maps and things like that. Documents if you're going through the airport. Leather detail on the zips. That's lockable. The laptop pocket is lockable. Don't hear that mentioned actually, so that's quite handy. That pulls open there. You've got a zip pocket at the front of that. See that there with a clear plastic window. You then have the laptop pocket here, which is also padded. So I was thinking I was going to have to put my laptop in a padded case. In fact, here we are. Here's a Dell 15-inch XPS. Let's see how that fits in. No problem. Okay. Going to add to the weight, though. It's all about weight on aeroplanes. It can be, depending who you fly with, depending how charming the person on the table is when you get there and how charming you're able to be to them. So there's another thinner pocket there for your iPad. I'm also, as I mentioned, a drone pilot as well. So I use either my iPad or my Huawei Mate 20, which is X, which is 7.2-inch screen. So I use that instead of an iPad nowadays since it has internet connection. My Chinese spy phone. And it's a great phone, by the way, even though it's got issues with certain countries saying that they are a naughty company, but it's one of the best phones I've ever had. Have to say that. So you got pockets for pens, things like that. Then, right, open up this. This is the main show. This is what you probably care about more, rather than me in my pajamas. Don't care about me in my pajamas. See, that is so heavy, just that flap. So that's the quality there. So it's going to have padding. Yes, it's got padding on the interior aspect of the laptop pocket as well as the exterior. Lots of little zip pockets there with clear windows so you can see what's in it. It's unbelievably heavy. So we've got literature. We'll take that out. Hopefully we'll get this down by 2 kilograms just by taking all the literature and bits and bobs out. So they provide a little cardboard cutout here to give you an idea of how to set up your equipment. Oh, hang on a minute. Phew. I was going to say, that size Nikon and that size Canon, just in case you have an issue with it. I don't have an issue, although I have just bought the Canon EOS R and I am loving it. It's a fantastic camera, far exceeded my expectations. So 4 to 6 lenses, I think they say, 2 full-size DSLRs. This picture's got 3 flashes. I'm hoping to get my Mavic Pro, my Mavic 2 in there as well. I will have to take a LiPo bag in there with all the batteries for the Mavic and the camera. So take that away, chuck it like that. And so lots of pockets. They've gone for a standard sort of setup just for transport, and which is something which is really nice. It is lots of containers. Wow, this is quality. I have to say, you can tell by the firmness and the feel that these are quality, opposed to something that's been done on the cheap. Another interesting point that you may or may not know about is, got a camera here. Is that these dividers, 2 of them, I think there's only 2, and I don't know whether any of these have them. No, they don't. So it comes with 2 dividers that have, just get that out of the way, these little U-shaped cutouts in them. Okay, so I should have probably done this before. You want me to drop it so you've got something to laugh at, don't you? So it's just, this has never been done before by me, so this is why it's not going in easily. So that allows the lens to be cradled, which is particularly good if it's a longer lens. This is the 70 to 300mm Canon, which I love. Great travel lens. I don't have the 200. People rave about the 200. I don't have the 200. Okay, so then you have in here a few other little bags. I'll try and keep this short, and then I can do a longer one about the bits and bobs. Right, so this is for your tripod, okay? It's got a little tripod symbol on it. Some straps. I would say, yeah, it's maybe they're trying to be different with the... There could have been easier ways, I reckon, to put a tripod on this, but frankly, if you're travelling through an airport, you ain't going to have your tripod, I don't think, unless you're planning on taking pictures in the airport, and most airports don't like that nowadays. They're not going to be happy you taking your tripod in the cabin, so I suppose it's where they're trying to get as much out of it. It might be, you could argue this has been over-engineered, and a simpler solution would have been cheaper and easier, less hassle, less weight as well. So there's that, and there is a rain cover. That would have been, I would have thought, easier somewhere else. Most of them have little pockets to the top. I think this has got a little pocket at the top. Let's have a quick look for that. Again, this is new to me, just opened it, so you're learning this with me as I do it. But it's meant to have a... so I forgot to mention, it's got one of these security padlocks, which allows the airport security to open your bags without you needing to be there. They can just put in their special key, which opens it up. That is, I think, is it only America that does that? It's not many countries. It's only here in the UK. This is not a requirement to be able to, for them to be able to open your bag. But it's still a handy lock to have if you're just leaving your bag in your hotel room and you don't want people prying to see what you got. I mean, obviously they can just walk away with it, but maybe they can't so easily because it comes with this as well. Sorry, I know this is in there without opening it because I've watched the reviews. So it's got a little padlock. It's not going to be much cop. Oh, sorry, you can't see that, can you? Look, oh, God, it's a terrible review. I'd make sure you give me a thumbs down and when you get to the end of this. You can, obviously, but it'd be nice if you didn't. I'm panicking now. So the again, it's one of these special ones. I forgot what they're called, what the initials are, but it allows the security at an airport to open it up and do their checks without you being there. But this will stop the opportunistic photography. You are in a rough part of the world and you just leave your bag by your feet. It's quite feasible. Someone on a moped might zoom up and drive off with it, something like that. This would stop that for a few seconds, maybe allow you to get hold of them and beat them up if you felt particularly aggrieved by the robbery attempt. Unlike the British millionaire in Buenos Aires, wasn't it, the other day, who was being mugged by two guys on a moped, and they shot him and his son, I think it was son-in-law, dead for their trouble. So you've got to be careful, that kind of jazz. Little window at the top to put your business cards or your home address on it in case you get separated from your bag and someone's kind enough to return your bag full of thousands, tens of thousands of pounds of photographic equipment, and they think, I think it's be only decent and fair to get this empty bag back to its owner. So that's it. Brief rundown. Very nice wheels. I've never had a roller bag, camera bag before, so I can't really compare the wheels with other ones. Certainly very solid. Only a kilo less than a Pelly case, but then it has the benefits of more adaptation inside, room for your laptop, room for your documents. Because if you are travelling, you're going to have your passport, you're going to have your boarding passes. So really, it is handy to have that, and it's nice to see some don't have a little side pocket, and really most people in airports, I find, are travelling with a bottle of water because it's stressful travelling whilst being enjoyable as well, and having a bottle of water with you is nice, I find. Okay, so there you go. Sorry if I haven't been my normal self. Sorry you've had to see me in this dishevelled state in my pyjamas and my untidy desk. And thank you for watching. I will do a bigger review once I've loaded this up. I will actually, before I go, let's very quickly show. This is one of my camera bags. Like most people, I collect bags for a living almost. I don't get paid for it, but it feels like I do it for a living. This is a Polar Pro bag. You can get identical ones off eBay for a fraction of the price. And again, it's got one of these TSA locks, that's what they're called, on it, which is handy. And this has the opening for it against the back, so it reduces the risk of someone just like sort of pickpocketing equivalent of creeping up behind you and taking your camera out of your bag. But very nice bag. A few bad points about it. It doesn't have zip or Velcro on these pockets, so I have had my iPad just drop out onto the floor with that. There are a couple lenses in this now, so I should be careful what I do so I don't have stuff drop out there. But a very nice bag. Smaller than that one, but then to be honest, sometimes it's good to have a smaller bag, so it actually limits you as to the weight you're carrying, makes you think more about what lenses you got in advance. But then when you've got lenses and you've got things like filters, bag of leaf filters, that takes up space. Got one there. You've got the L brackets. You've got remote controls. You've got flash units. Bloody hell, the kit does mount up, and you've got to find ways of transporting it. I also have what has been up to now, my main camera bag's a Low Pro, and I can't tell you the model, but it's a nice one that only carries the camera, with a lens on it, 2 other lenses, and a small little bag for filters, and a top pocket which allows me to put my drone in a soft pouch and a couple of batteries in that, and that's a nice setup for me walking about. Now I've got the Canon EOS R. That's reduced my weight by a little bit. Just need to try and get some money together to buy some of the EOS R lenses, the RF lenses, because they do look rather beautiful and they have very good reviews. So, thank you for watching. Any questions about that, let me know, and hopefully I will be back to work very soon and helping my osteopathic patients. And I've got a drone job in 2 days, which hopefully I'll be better for, at Land's End. You might get to see some of that if you have a look at my, if you subscribe to my page. That's a very beautiful part of Cornwall. That's a charitable fun run to encourage people to get up and move around. Which is something I need to do more of, as you can tell. Anyway, thank you for watching, and subscribe, like if you feel up to it, and catch up with you soon.